This is
in the
down.
hot seat.
Huh?
Oh, it's
yeah, it's just gonna record sound. It's not gonna record video. That way.
Cool.
So how many boards do you make each year?
We're in the hundreds.
Hundreds?
I'll say it's
hundreds a year.
Yeah.
And what have you done to keep up with the progression of kind of how technology has gone?
We rely a lot on our suppliers. Basically, you know, the snowboard industry is pretty small, and a lot of the suppliers of materials, you know, they sell a lot more volumes to other industries. For instance, the fiberglass industry.
Yeah.
You know, a snowboard takes, you know, the amount of glass I use in a year is probably, you know, not even enough to make like a 30-foot boat.
Yeah.
I mean, a single boat is huge. So we kind of rely on those guys to use their research and development and economies of scale to kind of tell us what's good in the market, what they can offer us in terms of performance or pricing or, you know, sustainability or those sorts of things. And that's where a lot of the snowboard technology actually comes from, is from other industries trickling in. So so as a small company, I'm able to, you know, utilize a lot of that because our suppliers, you know, they're ramped up and ready to roll on the latest stuff.
And so how did Teammates start?
It really started just as a group of friends, and we just loved to ride together. But we were always into like making our own graphics and spray painted our boards and things like that. So
I've done that.
Yeah. I think all kids have, and you know, decorating with stickers, and we're just curious what it would take to, you know, make a board that we like to ride and make graphics that we liked. And you know, I essentially bought a cheap vacuum press a long time ago, and kind of just started with that. You know, as soon as I made the first board, it was certainly like not a good board, but just the fact that we could make something that was rideable was like that was the spark.
Yeah. And so what kind of makes a custom board more, I wouldn't say necessary, but kind of better, instead of, you know, going out and buying, oh, here's
off the shelf?
Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, one of the funny things is that that a lot of companies don't actually talk about is that shoe size is a huge issue in the snowboard world. In skis, it's not. You know, you just don't have that problem. But you know, toe and heel drag is actually a big problem. And when I grew up, they just, like, for whatever reason, the size 9 shoe was kind of the middle of the bell curve, and I had an 11, so like riding a custom or riding a balance was just not going to happen for me. And then they started sort of making wide boards, but they were always just like super ugly graphics, and like you felt like an idiot riding the like crappy wide board.
They almost made them too wide.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know, with a custom board, we're really able to dial in, like, you know, for your shoe size, you know, and then, you know, what style of board you like to ride, and as well as graphics, and just put it all into one package, so you're like really stoked on a board and you just don't have to compromise.
Something you love.
So, yeah, you got it.
And have you thought of ever making actual kind of off-the-shelf models?
Yep, and I think next year we probably will have some available. You know, it just allows us to keep a more consistent flow of boards, because as you can imagine, snowboarding's seasonal, but
yeah.
You know, the custom market's even more seasonal. So when the snow's gone, it's, you know, out of people's minds. So having product on the shelf will certainly help our sales flow.
So what are the materials that you use? What kind of, like, specifically, not just like wood, but
Gotcha. So we'll start at the bottom, and the base is ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. A lot of people call it Petex, but Petex is actually a brand name. And we get it from Crown Plastics in Ohio. Then the metal edges are on there are just a regular steel. We've used stainless in the past, but it's really difficult to work with, and it's tough for the end user to sharpen or detune anyway.
It's way too strong.
And then we use fiberglass and carbon fiber. We use a triax weave of the glass. And then the wood core we use is generally poplar with maple stringers, but we have a mill here in Maine that makes them for us, and they actually have a lot of spruce as well, so that generally makes a little bit better strength to weight ratio, just because the spruce is a little lighter than the poplar. but it's pretty similar properties, and all the wood actually comes from Maine. And then the top sheet is either, again, a polyethylene layer or a PBT or a nylon plastic.
Okay. So, how much has like the tech changed? You know, you said you recently got rocker boards. So how much has that changed? Like, what did you start with?
I mean, we originally just started with a camber mold.
Camber.
You know, the industry is the funny thing is that the industry needs to reinvent itself every year to sell products. So. Yeah. You know, you'll see a lot of what they call technology, and a lot of it's just, you know, kind of a different marketing spin.
It's usually the same thing.
It's generally the same thing. You know, they'll try different combinations of rocker and camber. And honestly, since it's such a qualitative sport, it's really hard to quantify, you know, what's better and what's not. You know, certainly rocker works better in some situations, like riding powder. It's great. Whether you need a board that has, like, you know, rocker in one place, camber in another, then rocker again in another place. I mean, a lot of it's really just marketing, and I mean, if you end up looking at the board, it just looks like, you know, it's almost like a crinkle cut French fry, and it makes you realize that, you know, so long as it has edges and a base and places to put your bindings, like, you can almost ride anything.
Other stuff's pretty unnecessary.
And you know, it's like I said, it's qualitative, so you know, you may get on the board and it may fit your riding style really well, but it may just feel different, which is a neat feeling, riding something that feels different. But whether it's, you know, it's better or not, I mean, I guarantee you'll see the market start marketing regular camber boards again very soon.
Oh yeah, they already have.
Yeah, sure.
I've always stuck with regular camber. I've ridden a reverse camber. I hated it.
Yeah.
I think it's way too loose.
But, you know, you'll see it flip-flop. I mean, it's honestly, it's a little bit more like the fashion industry.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see trends come and go than it is any real breakthrough in technology is kind of our feeling about it. And it's more like ride what you like, and, you know, try rocker if you want. Yeah. Or, you know,
really
if you want, like, you know, the power of camber out of a board, then ride that. And we do S-rocker as well for powder boards. So, you know, we offer it all. It's just whatever the customer wants.
Yep. So what's next for Team 8?
Probably the stock product line,
line.
As well as carrying more soft goods, and actually this summer we'll finally get our website back up and running. It's been a forever coming soon, but you know, we make sure the configurator's up there for everyone to play with. It's just, you know, during the season we only have time to build boards and not really time to play with the internet. So
it's whatever.
Yep.
Sweet, that's all my questions. Just a quick little shoot.
All right.
Sweet.